what I thought.
We are live. Good evening, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us from. This is the Coaches Roundtable, another week of fun, really talking with some amazing coaches that I have the privilege of talking to every week, and hopefully you guys have the privilege of joining us. So first things first, we're going to talk a little bit today about stories and video, but I want to know who we're talking to. So let's go over Sid. Why don't we start with you if you want to do your intro and pass it on?
Sure. Thank you, Jonathan. Great to be here with everybody. I'm Sid Meadows, and I'm a business advisor and strategist, and I help small businesses grow. And with that, Camille, take it away.
Hi, I'm Camille Nisich. I am an investor, advisor, and coach, and I help innovators find and plug the hidden cash flow leaks in their business so they can fund their growth and innovation as well as their exit. Lubna, over to you.
Hi, and my name is Lubna. I'm a mindset and performance coach, and I help you smash limiting beliefs, achieve meaningful goals, and soar in your motivation and confidence.
I love it. And my name is Jonathan Howard. I am the owner of Success on Social, and I help coaches create content so they can reach their ideal clients. And I do that with short form and live video, which is kind of a little bit of what we're going to be talking about today, because we're talking about stories and video and why they're so important in your marketing. And really what it comes down to, in my opinion only, is that it's one of the best ways to reach your clients, effectively communicate your message and drive conversions. But I want to hear from the panel. Like, for me, storytelling has always been the best way. Now, video has come along and become a very important part of that. And we'll talk a little bit more about why that's happened. But I always focus on the storytelling first. Why, from your perspective, is storytelling important in the process, especially with video?
Well, let me jump in. One of the things that I heard very early on is that facts tell and stories sell. And whether you're selling a product or service or yourself, it really doesn't matter. And that was, well, the first time I heard it, I found it weird because I went to university, and the one thing that they teach you is you have to know facts, 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 facts. So I thought that's what I need to know and to succeed in life. Well, after hearing a couple of people tell me facts in the rooms and the teachers, I went like, oh my, this is so boring to listen to. And sure, facts help, but it's not what is compelling. It's not what is connecting you. And as much as we would like to believe that business brands are actual things, people still connect with people. People still buy from people. People still build trust with people. And stories make you relatable because then people can connect with you, but also they can see themselves in that story. So I've had once someone after a 10-minute presentation come up to me and say, I know what decision I need to make. And I'm like, what do you mean? I just shared my story. And through my story, she was like, I'm at a crossroads, the same crossroad that you were on. But because you told me how you thought, what you thought, and how you made that decision, you helped me make mine. So that's me for now.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. And stories sell. And that's always been that's one of the first things I remember hearing. I'll share my the mattress story in a moment, but yeah, Sid or Camille.
Yeah, I'm happy to jump in. I think that, when you think of from a business perspective, I mean, everything Lubna said was spot on. One of the things I wrote down is that people resonate with stories. They can, and Lubna said very much, they can see themselves in the story, right? But also think about it from the perspective, if you're selling a product or a service, people don't buy features and benefits, right? But if you can tell, they buy solutions to their problems. And if you can tell them a story about how your solution or your product solved someone else's problem, and it happens to be a problem that they have as well, there they are again, seeing themselves inside of that story and how you can help them and how you can benefit them. So I think it's really great to tell a story around your solution rather than try to sell your features and the benefits of your product or your service.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll just quickly add that I feel like a theme that we constantly talk about on the Coaches Roundtable is trust. And there is so much trust building in storytelling that is differentiated from just the other portions of marketing. And so I just feel like it's a powerful component for sure.
Yeah.
And to be really honest, we learned how to tell stories before we learned how to tell facts.
Yeah,
So true.
that's true.
Some of the stories not always true though, right, Lubna? We were taught at a young age to tell stories.
But you can tell a story about anything, including a fantasy story.
Mhm.
But that's how we were brought up. It's later in the educational system that is, I wanted to say punched out of you.
A little bit. Yeah, it's definitely,
Yeah.
So I remember when I was at Yale University bookstore, and I had my regional manager just tell me, like, I had all these books and they needed to be sold. And, like, I was trying to figure out ways to sell them and all this stuff. And he kept walking by me that day and saying, we sell a good night's sleep. We don't sell the mattress, we sell a good night's sleep. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I did not get it. I was so lost. I'm like, he just kept saying that. And it's, you sell the experience. You sell what it feels like to have a good night's sleep, because I know what it feels like to have a good night's sleep. You know what it feels like to have a good night's sleep. But if I tell you to go into the room next to me and feel the mattress and tell you if it's a good mattress, you don't know how to tell if it's a good mattress. You know, if you fall asleep and you get a good night's sleep, that's the winner. So, it really comes back to, that emotional connection. And what do we know? How can we identify in a story? Which is why when we bring it back to video as well, it becomes such a powerful thing, because when we add the stories to the pictures, it's a picture's worth 1,000 words. A video's worth what, 1,000,000? You're able to communicate a very complex message in a very quick amount of time. If you can get your audience, and this is kind of where I go with video and why I think, now people disagree with me and what we can ask you guys, but I think you can tell a very powerful story in 8 seconds.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I think that you can, but I'm going to put you on the spot because usually it's Lubna that asks a hard question. But since you got me in trouble with my daughter last night, I'm going to throw you a question, Jonathan, which is how? How do you tell a compelling story in that short amount of time? I feel like you have mastery around it. I feel like some of us feel like maybe we're a little more long-winded and it's a challenge to tell a powerful story in a short amount of time. So without any duck emojis, how do we do that?
You didn't like the duck emojis, huh? At least I didn't say the word. Yeah. So how do you do that? I really, and this is what I tell everybody, and we can, go through, but for video, you have to boil it down to where they were before, where they were after, and how they got there. That is going to be your basic formula. So it's a transformation story that you can tell this quickly. And it's really the moment what their pain point was, or you could go the opposite way to what the desired outcome was. But whichever way you go, you still need to know what that was, and then what the aha moment was, and how they live life after that aha moment. That's your conclusion. That's your 8-second story. Now, Is it missing some pieces? Sure. You need a lot of the components, the characters, that stuff, but a lot of that can be brought in with the images that you use, the emotions that you try to have pictured in your 8-second video. And you can do it. And sometimes it requires a few extra words in the caption after, that might be after the 8 seconds, but it's definitely something that can be done. But it's not easy, because you do need, one, practice, and two, you need to know, here's the big thing with stories, you need to know what your audience is going to immediately go to. So if you're visualizing one thing and your audience is visualizing something else because they're coming from a different perspective, you've got a problem with your story, because it's not going to connect, because they're going to be thinking something else, which is part of why I chose my specific word choice yesterday.
Right.
So I missed the yesterday. I knew
Seriously, we're going to have to catch the audience
Yeah.
up and Sid
yes.
on what happened, and maybe Lubna too. So,
But Jonathan, I want to know something as a follow-up to Camille's question. Why 8 seconds? Why not 10 seconds? Why not 15 seconds? Why 8 seconds?
8 seconds is about the attention span of a goldfish and the human. On average, humans have an attention span of about 8 seconds. That doesn't mean everybody has an 8-second attention span, but when you're in marketing, you got to aim for what your masses are. So using that 8 seconds as a guide. But even now that we're so accustomed to short form video, we have 2 seconds to capture their attention, which is, when I was going to talk about where to start, short form video is a great place to start creating content for yourself. Actually, it's not where I would go first, but it's a great place to start. But you've got to know you don't have 4 minutes. Nobody has 4 minutes anymore.
Agree with that.
Yeah. If we took 4 minutes, people would be swiping away. And in this day and age, you got 2 seconds to get their attention. So using those tricks, those tools, here's where they were, here's where they're going, and the visuals, the video that allows you to communicate that so quickly is important. And moving it fast, because even the pace of a video can impact how impactful it is. That's not what but yeah. Impact.
So instead of going, well, let me tell you a story.
Yeah.
Let's go back to, I'm already bored and I'm telling it.
Right. Once upon a time is a lovely way to start a story, but not in a video. The other thing, and this is for everybody who's starting, because this always happens, and I was going to go through my format for short form video, but you don't want, especially on YouTube or anywhere, you don't want to go, hi, my name is Jonathan, and I'm so excited to be here. We're going to talk about blah, 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 blah. Honestly, when I started this video today, I probably should have said, do you have trouble, we lost Camille. We got Camille twice.
Yeah, Camille's frozen.
Yes, he's frozen. Yeah.
Oh, we had 2 Camille's.
We had 2
wow,
Camille's.
I liked that.
Magic. So, I should have started with, do you use storytelling to sell your products? That would have been something to grab people's attention instead of going and doing our intros first. Could have probably done a better intro to the video. So, and what I was going to say with that is the format that you create your video in matters. No matter what. And I gave you kind of a story, but you need to have something that's going to grab their attention in the first 2 seconds. Then your value, whatever that value is, however long your video is going to be. And that can be 12 seconds, 8 seconds, 4 seconds, or 20 minutes. And then you need a call to action. You need to tell people to do something after they've heard your story, after they've seen your video, because that's the whole goal of our story and our video, right? Is to get them to do something, to motivate them to take a step, to emotionally connect with them so that they're willing to purchase our product, to, really get to that next level. So showing them the way and giving the, desired action after is really, really important.
But Jonathan, can I jump in for a second?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
one of the things that I have learned in a professional speaker training is that every presentation, whether it's video virtually or in real life, is you have to have a good start. And in one of the trainings I was taught, there are a couple of things that you can use when thinking about, okay, how do I start that will grab attention? And the very first one is to ask a question that you know the person that you're trying to reach will say yes to. So and if they say no, you're off to a wrong start, but they have to say yes. And some speaker trainers will even tell you ask 2 or 3 questions, because if you get 3 yeses in the beginning, you're off to a really good start. But I can imagine with an 8-second video that one question would be enough to get them even curious about what you're going to be telling them.
Yeah.
The other one is a startling statistic. So if you can say 8 out of 10 people end up in burnout, people go, whoa, that's a lot. And it could be very different things. Is that the type of thing that we should be talking about when we do want to do it in short, whether it's 8 or 10 or 15 seconds, but to make it compelling?
Yes, absolutely. And what I always tell people is your grab should be specific to your audience. What do you know your audience is looking for? So this is where Selling Happy comes in. We talked about Selling Happy a couple of weeks ago. This is where that comes in, because you want to sell them happy. So how can you show them that where they are now, you get it, but you can bring them to a happy place? So using some things that are really specific to them, what their pain points are, what they're struggling with, what they need out of us. What is it that your audience needs out of you? That's where you're going to get their attention. That is the most powerful part of any video, any story, and any connection that you can make, is how can you help them? Because they don't care about us until we show them how we can help them.
Yeah, but that's a specific insight or action, if you will, that people can take away from the conversation today, is that when you're thinking about, I mean, the very first time that you told me it has to be 8 seconds, I went like, I can be short, I can be long-winded, but 8 seconds seems really short. So right now that would be my startling statistics, as in you have to have 8-second videos. I would go, whoa, how do I do that? So I can imagine someone watching this right now or on the replays thinking, that is too short. I can never do that, which may lead to them thinking, I'm never going to do video, which would be a loss.
Okay, so
Which would be a loss, yes.
I'm going to try it.
Ooh, we're gonna have a live demo.
No, not now. Not now.
Oh,
No. Camille, I'm volunteering that I was going to try it. Go follow me on Instagram, and I'm going to post it because I wrote it out. As we were talking, I wrote it out.
Ooh.
Well, why won't you do it on?
And
LinkedIn?
then I wrote a question
Ooh.
because Lubna said question.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'm going to do it.
But we want you to do it now, Sid.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm
Demo.
breaking up.
You can hear he's something happened with his short form video creation machine he's got there. It doesn't work.
Yes, so true.
So
I was having flashbacks too when I used to work in post production for advertising and film, and all these people would sit around the table, and the ideas were, oh, but here's the idea, and here's how we're doing it, and those could be quite intense. So I thought you were going to give us one of those live experiences, Sid.
he was ready to go. So
Yeah, he was ready to go. No, but I can imagine. So we've got the start. So you can do either a startling statistic or a question, as long as you know that for the people that you're reaching, the answer is always yes, because they say no, they're going to swipe and leave. Then the value part. So I know from my speaker training is that they say you have to be short and sweet, depending on how long you have. Make it 3 to 5 points. Make sure that they can actually count with you, so they remember it even more. Is that one of the ways? What are some of the other ways that people can provide that value in the middle?
You got to do one in an 8-second video, right? They can't
1 point. Yeah. You've got to do 1 point. And so I always start people with, and this is, one of the things that when they say that they can't do video, I let them know that anybody can do 8 seconds and anybody can share. What's the one thing, and my dogs are going to bark now.
Somebody must be at the door delivering a UPS or FedEx package. That's what
Yeah.
happens at my
So,
house.
yeah.
Perfectly
So,
cute.
what is the one thing that you wish you knew before you started your job? What is that one thing that would have made your life different before? And that's why, one of the things that I tell people is 8 seconds seems really fast, but it's a great time to share something powerful like that and let them know, hey, here's the one thing that I wish I knew before I started short form video. That 8 seconds was the time limit that I needed to fit my videos into. That would have been great to know because it would have changed the way that I viewed videos. And then I'd give them a call to action and we'd be done. And I can do that in 8 seconds.
That makes a lot of sense, because if there's one thing I wish I knew when I started way back when, and I started my career, it would have been that action breeds confidence, not the other way around. I was waiting for the confidence to hit before I took action most of the time. But when I learned it was the other way around, the action taking was way easier to take.
Yeah. That's a great tip. Here's this action. Action is what actually breeds the confidence, not the other way around. Done. And then you could also then tell a story. This is where stories come into short form video, because if you tell a story, you got them for a few more seconds because stories hold their attention longer. So you could tell a story of how you learned about confidence, coming from action first. You could probably boil down a story to 15, 18 seconds. So that's where stories and short form come in. And before we wrap up, because we are already, how did that happen? I have no idea. We're already at 21 minutes, and I know I want to wrap it up and give everybody a time to, but one of the ways, now we talked a lot about short form video, and it's a great place to start if you're not comfortable with video. It's 8 seconds of confidence when it comes to short form video. That's what I always tell people. You just have to show up on screen for 8 seconds or 4 of those seconds and, have something else showing up on the screen for the other 4. But really, the best place to start is the scariest place to start, and that's doing live video, because you don't have to be anything but a mess.
Here we are,
But
right here.
Jonathan, honestly, I used to say, put me on a stage with 10,000 people in the audience. Do not ask me to go live on my phone. That just seems weird. How can talking to a phone screen be something that is considered normal behavior?
Because we all do it now. That's normal, right? That's how we define normal. But I think it is uncomfortable at first. And it's the same thing when we do short form video. We have to emote to our phone. So how do you practice that? You start by talking to your phone a lot. Make it your best friend. Connect with it. Tell it stories of your day.
Give it a name.
Ooh.
Like it becomes a member of the family. When you're starting to do video, you need to really connect with your phone. So that's one thing. 2 is practice doing simple things like introducing yourself on camera. Do it in the mirror. So you see how your face moves, how your, the words you choose, and you can get comfortable with that really, really quickly. And then it's practice, and just do it. And so you can record like a fake live. You can do that like for a week if you want. Do a week of fake lives if that makes you feel comfortable. Or get on Facebook, open your own private group, and do lives to yourself in your private group. And then you can look at them, criticize them, get more comfortable with them, and figure out ways that you can be better at them.
See, for me, the lives has not been my problem.
Same. All day long, I would do lives.
Yeah. It's
all
just
the
that people
editing
come
and
on.
bells and whistles and the condensation,
Yeah.
right, of the short. Yeah.
Having a conversation's easy, especially like on Instagram. Somebody will raise their hand and come up and, hey, today we're talking about whatever. And they come up and then all of a sudden we start having a conversation. I love it. It's the static video, meaning I got to record it. And what am I going to say in 30 seconds? And what's the topic and what's the hook and what's the call? It's like planning all of that out to me is more intimidating than just hitting the go live button.
Interesting.
When I did a lot of lives, I still planned all those things. but I just felt comfortable that I had more time to get it done. I
Mm.
would still have my call to action planned. I would still have my title. I'd still have my copy I'd have all that pre-planned, but it just felt better that I could, even though many times I would start and I was talking to myself, I could just generate the emotions a little bit easier with live than I could with the very short content.
And that's why I say to start with the live, because it is to many people more comfortable and easier for them to get past because, well, and here's the thing, you get one chance. With short form video, when you're recording it, you get multiple chances. Not that the way I teach it, you only get 3 of those multiple chances, but you still get multiple chances, and that gives you the opportunity to make it take a whole lot longer than it needs to be. Or
But
25 days.
I can imagine, Jonathan, people are watching this right now and thinking, but why should I even bother with video? I mean, it's way easier to type something than it is to switch on a camera or your phone and either go live or record a video they're going to upload. Why video?
Because first of all, video is going to be easier than all of that put together in the long run. And well, one, we have no choice. 2, it's going to be easier. And 3, because when it comes to sharing that story, connecting with your audience, and being able to do all the things that video can do, nothing else compares to video. It doesn't connect the same way. It doesn't reach your target audience. It doesn't communicate your messages. It doesn't drive conversions. Video drives all of that. And it should be a part of your campaigns, all of them. A big 60% portion probably of many campaigns.
Okay.
So
I agree. And video makes you human,
Yeah.
much more human than reading a static post or a text only or a post with a graphic in it. It gives the people that you're trying to attract the opportunity to get to know you just a little bit, your personality, a little bit of who you are. So I think I think it's a great tool.
Yeah,
I agree. I find it though interesting on LinkedIn though that still right now, and again I know it changes all the time, that the selfies still get more reach. It's perplexing to me.
it's that connection. It's that human connection. When we see the person, we connect. Same thing will happen with video. And yes, I do, even though you can do videos without your face in it, I recommend you do videos with your face in it. Because that's what's connecting. That's what, exactly what Sid said, that's how they build those connections with you. That's how they build the trust. And trust is, one of those things we come back to all the time. Luke, any takeaways before we?
Yeah, my takeaway, I'm signing up. I am posting a reel today on Instagram that hopefully will be 8 seconds.
All right.
Right.
Okay, and I am challenging Jonathan to say, tell the audience if they're doing short form on another platform, let's say YouTube, can they use the same things? Is there the same challenge? Should we do them on a different platform, etc.?
So you can absolutely, most of your short form videos are going to appeal to your audience on all of your platforms. So being aware of who your audience is, you can absolutely use it on all the platforms. The only thing I recommend is you use the pretty decorations and the stickers and the things from each individual platform when you create the video. So your video itself, your main video, can be the same. And, your messaging in many ways can be the same or even different if you're just putting the messaging in text on the screen. You could apply, make it custom for each platform. But the stickers, the font that you use, all of that should be each individual platform if you can. So download your video from whatever platform you're using it before you put any text or anything on it. So you have a raw video.
Or
It's good to
just record the video on your phone and then
Yeah.
upload it to Instagram and upload it to TikTok.
Yep. Yes.
I might actually post on TikTok today. Don't tell anybody.
Okay, we won't tell anybody. Camille or Lubna, did you have any takeaways before we wrap it up? Because we're
No,
already...
I think that the most important insight is that video is important because human beings connect with human beings, and especially when they can hear you and see you,
Yeah.
you can expedite that connection point. Whatever you want to do, whether you're a career professional and you're looking for a job, or there's so much more potential in being like this, so you can see us, that we're actually human beings and that we are who we are, than writing or even recording or making images. And I think that is really important, because I've seen some research out there that says video is important online, and it's going to only become more important as we want to see the human being behind the brand.
Yeah. I think mine just quickly is just find the video platform that you're comfortable with, know that they all are valuable, and start there and then branch out. So,
yeah. And I will say that when it comes to showing up and being seen in a crowded marketplace, one of the best things that you can do is create videos that tell a story, create videos that connect with your audience in a way that, communicates your brand mission, your goals, and all of those things, and lets them see you for you, because they're going to buy you because, well, they're going to buy you because they like you. They're going to buy you and your product because they like you. Maybe not your product. They may not even know your product. So knowing how you connect with people and the way that they're going to perceive you and how you can share your brand message and all of that with stories is very, very important. And videos, obviously, videos and stories are very powerful. And Sid, Jensa is going to hold you accountable.
Well, she better like it and comment on it and share it to her stories, Jensu. I'm just saying. Okay. Right.
So,
the engagement challenge.
there we go. So with that, unless there's anything else, we are back next week. Right? Yeah, we're back next week. Who's leading next week? I don't know.
I'm actually leading next week, and we're doing a discussion about we're doing a book review, basically. And we're going to be talking about the book Unreasonable Hospitality. I can't reach it, or I would hold it up on the screen and show it to you, but it's a really great book, and we're going to be talking a little bit about that book and what it means to create an amazing customer experience.
Awesome. I'm excited about that. And we will see you all again next week on the Coaches Roundtable. Thank you for being here today. And if you if you come across this and feel like sharing it, please do that, because Sid's going to hold you accountable for it. All right, guys.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.